So now that we are all set up on the carpet and we are ready for our read aloud and our minds and our bodies are ready to learn in ready learning position, we are going to start our read aloud. And today we are going to read a book, as I mentioned, about the first day of school. The book is called First Day Jitters. Here is the cover of the book. And the author is Julie Danberg. Let's take a look at this cover of the book. What can we see in this picture? Does anyone want to raise their hand and tell me? Good, so we see something that looks like a girl maybe laying in bed. How does she look? She kind of looks scared, right? The way that she's like this with her blanket. How do the animals look? The animals look a little scared or like they're looking at something. Can anyone tell me what they're looking at? Good, it looks like they're looking at a calendar. I love the way everyone's sitting and listening and participating. And what can we see? It's really hard to read, but something on the calendar is circled and it's in red. And I'm going to read what it says. It says first day of school. So it looks like she's looking at that calendar, and maybe today is that day, the first day of school. So let's keep reading. Sarah, dear, time to get out of bed, Mr. Hartwell said, poking his head through the bedroom doorway. You don't want to miss the first day at your new school, do you? So it does look like it's the first day of school, right? I love the way everyone's sitting in listening, learning position. Good job, boys and girls. I'm not going, said Sarah, and pulled the covers over her head. Of course you're going, honey, said Mr. Hartwell, as he walked over to the window and snapped up the shade. What does it look like the dog's doing in that picture? The dog's trying to get her out of bed too, right? By taking the blanket off of her? No, I'm not. I don't want to start over again. I hate my new school, Sarah said. She tunneled down to the end of her bed. How does Mr. Hartwell look? He has his hand on his head like, oh, come on, Sarah, right? Yep, you're right, guys. How can you hate your new school, sweetheart? Mr. Hartwell chuckled. You've never been there before. Don't worry. You liked your other school. You'll like this one. Besides, just think of all the new friends you'll meet. That's just it. I don't know anybody, and it will be hard, and I just hate it. That's all. Has anyone else felt this way when you started something new before? Raise your hand. Right, when you started camp. Good job, good thinking. Or think about an activity you did that's new, that you haven't done before. Good, riding your bike, something new. You feel like you don't want to do it, right? Because it's new. And sometimes when something is new, it could be a little scary, right? I know for me, the first time that I tried soccer when I was a kid, I did not want to go, to give my parents such a hard time about that. I did not want to go. I had no friends there. I knew nobody. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to play, right? So when we do something new, sometimes we just do not want to do it. And that's normal. Okay, next page. What will everyone think if you aren't there? We told them you were coming. Everyone's like freaking out, right? Look at the classroom. Look at the police officers. What does this page look like? What are they all doing? Do you think they're having a party, or do you think they're looking for Sarah? Yeah, it looks like they're looking for Sarah. They will think I am lucky, and they will wish that they were at home in bed like me. Mr. Hartwell sighed. Sarah Jane Hartwell, I'm not playing this silly game 1 second longer. I'll see you downstairs in 5 minutes. Has anyone's parents had to wake them up like this in the morning? Raise your hands. Yep. Yours did? Today? I have to do this sometimes too. My parents have to get me up like this too because I am not a morning person. Raise your hands if you are not a morning person. You're not a morning person? Me either. It's hard to get up in the morning, especially if it's to get up and do something new that you've never done before. You don't want to get up, right? Sarah tumbled out of bed. She stumbled into the bathroom, and she fumbled into her clothes. It looks like she's still sleeping, right? She's fumbling, she's stumbling, she's tumbling. Those are all good words. My head hurts, she moaned as she trudged into the kitchen. Mr. Hartwell handed Sarah a piece of toast and her lunchbox. What did everyone have for breakfast this morning? Sarah looks like she had toast. What did everyone have? Raise the hands. You had toast? You had cereal? You had oatmeal? That's yummy. You had avocado? I had avocado too. I love avocado. They walked into the car. Sarah's hands were cold and clammy. They drove down the street. She couldn't breathe. Does anyone know what the word clammy means? Can anyone tell me? Raise your hands. Has anyone heard that before? I'll read the sentence one more time. They walked to the car. Sarah's hands were cold and clammy. What could clammy mean? Raise of hands. Yeah, exactly. Clammy means damp or wet, and sometimes that happens when you're what? Good job. Nervous, right? Or scared, or dreading something. Sometimes when people go on stage to perform something and they're really nervous, they sweat or their hands get clammy, which is kind of sweaty, right? That's what it means. So Sarah was nervous and dreading going the first day of school, so her hands felt cold and clammy. I know when I get nervous, I get really hot. We all have different reactions when we're nervous. And then they were there. I feel sick, Sarah said weakly. Nonsense, said Mr. Hartwell. You'll love your new school once you get started. Oh, look, there's your principal, Miss Burton. Sarah slumped into her seat. Who can tell me what the word slumped means? She saw the principal and Sarah slumped into her seat. Who wants to tell me? Exactly. Can everyone show me what slumped means? Let's do it together. Slumped. So she was trying to hide. She was trying to slump down and hide from the principal because she was dreading to go to the first day of school. Oh, Sarah, Miss Burton gushed, peeking into the car. There you are. Come on, I'll show you where to go. So there's Miss Burton getting Sarah from the car. She led Sarah into the building and walked quickly through the crowded hallways. Don't worry, everyone is nervous on the first day, she said over her shoulder as Sarah rushed to keep up. Look at those crowded hallways. When they got to the classroom, most of the children were already in their seats. It's the beginning of the day, they're setting up, they're getting into their seats, they're unpacking, right? Like you guys do. What do we do in the morning? Yep, we unpack. We say the Pledge of Allegiance. Those are all things that these students probably do as well. I love the way that Finley is sitting nicely, listening with listening ears. I love the way Noriah is sitting nicely. I love the way Dakota is sitting nicely. Good job, guys. We are almost done. The class looked up as Miss Burton cleared her throat. Class, attention please, said Miss Burton. When the class was quiet, she led Sarah to the front of the room and said, Class, I would like you to meet. They're waiting patiently. Do we know who it's going to be? Does anyone want to guess? A new janitor? Maybe. A new student? Yep, good job. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Your new teacher, Miss Sarah Jane Hartwell. It was the teacher who was nervous after all? Did anyone expect it to be the teacher? Who was surprised? You were, Finley? You were? Yep, see? So did anyone think that teachers can be nervous for the first day of school too? No one thought that? I know I get nervous, right? I was nervous for this first day of school, especially because all the changes that we've had this year. You guys, there's some things that are a little bit different. You guys have those cool cubicles around your desk for your own mini offices, which are awesome, but it's very different. We have masks that we have to wear. We cannot go outside of the classroom for lunch. We eat in here. There are some differences, and it's not normal to our normal school year. So, of course I was nervous. And you know what? I get nervous other years too. I've been at Covert for about 2 years now, and I still always get nervous for the first day of school, and that's fine. So, were other teachers nervous for the first day of school? Miss O was nervous, Mr. Esposito was nervous. We all get nervous, and that is totally normal. So we are going to transition into the activity, and we will do some writing work, and we will do some coloring, and I'm going to talk to you guys about how you felt on the first day of school, because I really, really want to know what type of emotions and feelings everyone was feeling. I want to know if someone was nervous. I want to know if you were excited. I want to know all of it. So we're going to go back to our seats. We're going to talk about it, and then we are going to hand out the worksheets, and we'll start that.